Hey everyone, my name is Alice Bull from scrapbookwonderland.com and the ScrapHappy membership group. And we are here for Scrapbook Live. So I'm really excited because it's going to be a fun day of scrapbooking. However, there's a glitch. In Canada, where I live, you can probably see a corner of the snow out the window there. We have a postal strike going on right now. And it's like a rotating postal strike where once in a while you get a little splurt of stuff, but one thing that has not arrived is my amazing kit from the Wild Hair Kits. I know, second time this has happened in the last couple of months, but some things cannot be helped. So I do have a plan, and I've put on my curator cap, and I have put together a kit that I will be using today. Some pieces are pieces left over from some of my other Wild Hair kits, because if you see me scrapbook, I don't use it all up in one go. So I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some good stuff. Today I will likely not be doing a pocket page, so if you hang out for those after the draw, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to get that done today. And I'll tell you more about that as the day goes on. So let me show you what I have pulled together, and then we'll take a look at project from last month because you didn't get to see it once the journaling was all added. And then, yeah, we're gonna get going. So I've gathered together a pile of really colorful, bright papers because I printed off some little pictures that are, you know, fun with my nieces and nephews. Okay, and Christine says the buzz at the office is that we'll be over by Monday. Yes, we have a postal worker in the house. And, you know, like, I'm not saying anything disparaging, but it is what it is. It'll be resolved when it's resolved. And unfortunately today there was no, well, as of yesterday, there was no mail for me for this. So yeah, so I printed off little tiny pictures. They're 2.5 by 2.5. They are square, and I don't normally print pictures that are this size, so I thought I would try something a little different than what I've done, and I would do a grid style layout today. So yay! Natalie is clapping. Yay! If you are new to Zoom, there are different ways that you can participate. You can have your video on and I will see you. And then you can also participate in the chat where you get to type. You can be a lurker and just watch. That's totally fine. We love hearing from you, so that's all good too. And after I have created my 12 by 12 layout, I still will be doing a draw for a free kit from the Wild Hair Kits. So let's talk about Wild Hair Kits for a second as I'm showing you pretty papers that I'm putting into my own custom curated kit today. Allison Gerling from the Wild Hair Kits actually custom curates. So what does that mean? You put together a style profile, and then from that, you can see that from the style profile, she puts together some choices of things for you, and you get this lovely little surprise kit, but it's tailored to your style. So, you know, if there's certain color palettes that you really like to work with, you can do that. If there's certain kinds of embellishments that you really like, you'll use those. She'll include those in your kit. So I've put together a couple sheets of Lawn Fawn paper. This is very bright, bright, bright and colorful. It has like a straight plaid on the one side and then a diagonal kind of plaid on the other. This other sheet is this diagonal stripe. It's from the same collection. I'm leaning towards using that. I thought it would be good to have some relatively plain cardstock. I've also chose this sheet, which is very bright on this side, but then it has some nice aqua colored. I thought that might be good if I need something a little more neutral for doing a little journaling or something. I do have a darker color of the teal, which has some lovely circles and stuff on the back. And with this, I have grabbed these cute little hearts. I have hoarded this paper for a long time. So if we happen to use some of that today, great. If not, I will continue to hoard it because I just love it. It is from Bella Boulevard. It's a Simply Spring Hippity Hop collection. You can see it has Easter bunnies on the back, but these hearts, oh, they just kind of like make my heart go pitty pat. And then I've got a piece of this paper from a Dear Lizzie Fresh Start collection. I love the watercolor effect on it. I love paper that gives us that little bit of cheating to it. Like, the watercolor work is done. Now it's just time for you to just pretend that you have all that talent. And then I have another piece of kind of tea leaf mint, and it has some lovely little cameras on the back. So those are the papers that I've pulled together for my own custom kit. I was trying to think, okay, like, how does Allison do it? She obviously works kind of within a color palette. Maybe she picks a starter paper and then she picks other papers that come with it. So I was like putting on my own custom curator cap today. We'll see how that goes. And then I thought it might be fun for me to pull out some stamps. So I grabbed these stamps that are all arrows. And if you know something about me, you'll know that arrows are one of my favorite embellishments to put on a page. These little corner embellishments I thought might be kind of fun. There's some sparkle on some of them, some foil on some of them, and I thought those were great. Those are Chanel. So there's nothing that's like super duper new here. And then I came across these. I don't know if they'll fit, but I liked the idea of some of those frames. Maybe if I'm doing a page like this, maybe that could be fun. Those are an old thing from Close to My Heart that I had. So it's a really good collection. There are some Heidi Swap embellishments. They have like little flocking and words and stuff on them, so those are great. And then in the whole lettering department, I grabbed these letters. They are from Dear Lizzie, and there are words on the other side. So lots of great things. Karina says she is here from Sweden. Welcome. This is awesome. We are super international today. And Brielle is on the other side of the planet in Seattle. And Natalie says, we've got 4 Canadians in the house too. Oh, look at us. Yes, because Christine is here, Natalie's here, Jacqueline's here, I'm here. Oh, and let's see, we got a few gals in the house. This is awesome. So feel free to chime in if you like and let us know where you're from. It's so fun to see that we can scrapbook with friends from around the world. Okay, so I did set up this extra camera today. So you guys like want me to give this a shot? Natalie's like giving me thumbs up, like try the new tech, Alice, come on. And I'm like just a little scared. Oh, I think this phone to not be locked. It's the one that doesn't leave the house. It's the one that's for in here in the scrapbook room. Oh, it could be just a little bit pushed over. Okay, so this big thing you can see here, this is like a giant camera boom. And like I could literally put a giant DSLR up on there. But of course, right now, it doesn't have a giant DSLR. It has like a little tiny cell phone up there. So, yeah, but works. Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit of those cords out of the way. So that's what that is. And we can try a screen share so that you guys can kind of see. And I might flip back and forth depending on how comfortable I am with how this is going. And trying new things, always a little scary. Okay, so let's put this aside. Oh, and I grabbed a sheet. Oh, it's right here. Of some white cardstock. So this is the thick super stock from Creative Scrapbooker magazine. This how the super stock is really thick. Can you hear it? You can hear that, right? It's like amazing. Oh, it's like when you pick this paper up, you know you got paper in your hands. It's great. Tina says she's in the middle of the US from Oklahoma. Dietrich's here from North Dakota. Man, this is really great. Okay, I'm going to try this screen share thing. it's hooked up to the right computer. So we are going to do this. Share. Is it gonna work? It says.
So Alice, I do it just from my video camera, bottom left, and with the little arrow, you can pick the camera.
Okay. Okay, that's not working there. Video camera on the bottom left.
So where it says stop video?
Yeah, select a camera.
Yep. So can you choose your iPhone from there?
No.
I think you did do it from share when we were playing.
Yeah, I did do it from the share. It's not just popping up on my camera here. I wonder if I had it just on my other computer and there's some wonderful setting that's done differently on this one. Because I'm like, oh, this will be so fun. So it says connect your phone or iPad to the computer. I'm pretty sure that's done. It's plugged in. Here. Is that gonna like change it all? Oh, I wonder if it's a problem because it's in airplane mode. Oh, no. Trust. Okay, are we getting there? Let's see this. Continue. I'm so hopeful. Because you shared another window. Okay. We'll try one more time. If it doesn't work, we'll give up. But I don't want to spend all day working with tech. But I thought I had this figured out. It's got this lovely thing, share from the iPhone. I'm like, good, do this. And it's not bringing up the other camera. Aw, darn it. I was so excited to try this new thing so we could see what exactly is on my thing. I will see if okay. Are we lucky enough to get this to work? No, I think we still got this other thing on here. Okay. It is what it is, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. So let's have a look. Darn it. It's right there. It's like, come on, just talk to it. Let's see. Camera. Yeah, it's not even giving me the option on here. Okay, we're done. We'll be done playing with that. Okay, so I will do some scrapping. Okay, so Natalie says, I hear there was a great advert in the Canadian scrapbooking magazine. Want to tell us about it? It said you're screen sharing on your screen. Yeah, I was trying to screen share. It failed. But okay, so I am way off camera because this thing is really crooked. Okay. There we go. That helps. Okay, so the load challenge has just been released, which is the layout a day challenge for February. And our theme is the ruby red scissors, which I am super excited about, based on the Wizard of Oz, because the Wizard of Oz is going to be 80 years next year. And then with that, we're going to do a scrapbooking challenge. So every single day in February, we're going to scrapbook every day using a prompt that's inspired from the Wizard of Oz. And oh my goodness, the ideas already that are flowing, I'm like, oh, so exciting. You know, just the whole follow the yellow brick road, going to the Emerald City. Can you guys just think of how good this is going to be for prompts? Yeah, it's going to be great. So fun times ahead. Okay, I have here something that I brought out, and I thought it might be really fun to kind of do some smushing. You guys want to see a little smushing today? I brought out my distress inks, and I thought, why not? We haven't played with some ink and stuff for a little while, so it could be fun. Let's bring out a few different colors. Yellow. Okay, what is in these colors here? So now that we kind of have a palette as chosen by these, I will pick some colors that kind of go with that and see. There's not really a good orange in there, so maybe I'll leave the orange out. Although there is a kind of corally color. Okay. So I thought we'd smush a little bit onto here. I've got a cleaning pad right here. And we'll make some magic. So I just think that, you know, this is beautiful white paper. Jacqueline saw the ad. She thought it looked great. Yay. Yeah, so with this smushing, I just take like a little packaging from something. This is actually a little plastic bag. I can even like, you know, maybe put my fingers in the bag and smush it more. I don't know. I think it'll work. And then, yeah, so for load, oh my gosh, so excited. The ad looks great. If you want to see the ad, it is on the ScrapHappy site. Go to scraphappy.org and you'll see it on the first page, or you can click load 219 in the corner and see it. Super cute. My husband helped me with the imaging because he wouldn't call himself artistic, but he totally is. Totally is. It's like one of those hidden talents. Okay. Oh, this bag has a hole in it. That might not be the nicest to smush with. Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, is someone trying to talk here? Oh, good.
You got too many people.
I got too many people.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Okay, so I've got this packaging. Let's go in here, and I am just gonna do a little bit of ink on the packaging. I'm gonna smoosh that around on there, and then I'm going to dab it like right onto my paper. Smush it in. Okay. So that's giving me kind of just a soft, subtle effect right there. That looks good. I think I need a little bit of water to have that here. Oh, maybe here. There we go. That's what we needed, a little bit of water. Good, and see if we can get kind of a nice little blend from here. A little bit of ink. That looks nice, a little bit of water. A little bit of smushing. Yeah, so with the load challenge, I did my first load challenge like back in 2013, and I could not believe how it kind of changed the way I scrapbook. Like that was like my biggest takeaway was I learned to scrapbook kind of in a whole different way, because that's when I really started story-based pages, right? And for me, that was a huge turning point. This is kind of working. So I'm just kind of putting the ink on here, smushing it around onto the package, and then just kind of smushing the package on here. And the thing is, I'm not going to want like a ton of concentrated color on here. I just want to add a little bit. Although I forgot to add a green. The green. There we go. So let's see. I've used my picked raspberry, my abandoned coral, my worn lipstick. I'm going to add a little bit of mustard seed next. Yeah, so it kind of changed the way that I scrapbook in the storytelling aspect of it, right? Like that was the biggest part that changed for me, is that I learned that when I start with a story, I tell better stories on my layouts. And so since then, I've kind of been obsessed with it. I'm literally writing different blog posts about journaling lately, and I have so many good ideas. And it's funny because I didn't really realize that I had like so much to say about journaling, and then I'm like, oh, I should put something on my blog. I haven't wrote on the blog for a little while, and then all of a sudden it's like all of these ideas bursting forth. I'm gonna put this paper towel. Oh, usually I have one sitting here. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper towel. Hey, this is looking good. Just want to take a little bit of that yellow off of that package there. Okay, so some green. Yeah, so different things like, you know, when you look at your pictures and you tell a friend about your pictures, and when you do that, you end up, you know, telling them all of the secret details that can be tough when you sit down and you look at your pictures. You're like, what am I going to say? So I think that for me, that was the biggest change in what I was doing, is starting with the story. So I knew the story before I even started the page. So that's been good. And with the load challenge, like whether that's the way you want to scrapbook or not, the load challenges kind of support any way of scrapbooking, because there's challenges based on like those kind of story-based prompts, and then there's challenges based on technique prompts. We've decided that every day should have both, which is super fun. And then we also do like if you have something else that you're working on and you don't want to scrap with prompts, and you don't, that one just doesn't click with you, whatever, it really is a layout a day challenge. The goal is to scrapbook a layout a day, whether you use the prompt or not. Totally cool. So that's been good. Because there's days that, you know, even though now I'm like integrally involved with the making of most of the prompts, sometimes a prompt just doesn't strike a chord with me on a certain day, right? And I just don't find that story. So yeah, it's good because I end up having the option of just scrapbooking whatever. But I have a question for you guys. Do you keep a list of prompts and ideas of layouts, stories that you haven't told yet? I'm always curious, because that's I do have a list. And honestly, like I was looking at my list just yesterday, and when I look at it, I think I need to touch my green. Heather says yes, they're in her planner. For me, I have a list, And I've come to the point where all of the layouts that I still have, or most of the layouts that are still on that list, I need extra information, like information that I don't just have, right? So, okay, so I've created like this background. Let's hold this up since we couldn't get this darn camera to work. Okay, so I've just created this background. I've just like randomly applied some muddy colors, and you have to think like a lot of this is gonna just get covered up, but I think I like the overall effect of it. I've got a bunch of color on there. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's take that, get that out of the way, and pack these up. Okay, so now we'll need a moment to dry. So let's bring the pictures out. I printed this one picture, and I actually have a story. Where did I set the story? Right here. My nieces and nephews. Oh, here it is. So this layout is going to be called The Most Fun Day Ever. Because that is literally what my niece said to me at the end of the day that we spent with her. She said, Auntie Alice, this was the most fun day ever. I'm like, oh. Okay, so yeah, my heart just broke, which was super sweet. But, you know, we did so many fun things. I printed this one picture as a square, but it cut my nephew out of the photo, which I thought was really sad. We're doing a little craft there. So I printed it again, and it's not exactly square. So anybody have this kind of issue? Hello, Tori, welcome. Anybody have this kind of issue when you're printing your pictures and you're like, oh, this one doesn't make a perfect square. I'm making a grid layout. And I like seriously had this moment, like, I'm like, how, that doesn't work. And then I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? They don't all have to be square to fit into a grid layout. So don't let something like that get you down. Don't let that distract you. It's all good. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Brielle said that Tiffany's class from the Scrap Gals, Tiffany Louder from the Scrap Gals, her class for inspiring writing stories is amazing. Totally. It totally is. I went to their event in Seattle this summer, and she had just great ideas for pulling out journaling. And then Tracy Claiborne actually a couple of years ago went with us to an event in Texas. Shout out to my Texas retreat. And we did a journaling class with Tracy. So she also brought another perspective to the journaling that we had, and that was super good. So just all of these places that you can pull inspiration from is so good. Okay, so I've got pictures. I have at least one picture that features each of the kids. I've got this craft time photo, and then I've got one picture that features the biggest kid of all, my husband. So yes, he climbed up onto the top of the play structure, and he's sitting up there, and it's a spinning play structure. So I'm like, do not fall, do not die. This is not good. This is not going to be good. But you know, it was totally him. How can you leave that out? Deborah says, hey, talking from Texas. Shout out to my Texas gals. Yeah. Okay, so now these pictures, I left a little bit of white matte around the edge, which is totally great when I have a more colorful background, because I've gone with like a more subdued background. I think I'm gonna matte a bunch of these with some of these papers. Doesn't that sound good? Like just a little bit of edging around them, and I can like, you know, add a little bit of texture that way. We got Tori here. Did I say hi, Tori? Tina says hi. Oh my gosh, this is super great, guys. I'm seeing everybody here. So let's just measure this up really quick. For me, that'll be easiest. I think if I just want to leave a little tiny border, I'm just gonna make it just about over 3. So let's cut a little strip. There you go. Do I want it to be 3 or 3 and oh yeah, 3 1/4. Okay. Let's cut that off. Good. So I have about seven images, which only leaves me 2 kind of blank squares. I need a title, I need a place for journaling, so it's not leaving me a bunch of room for just like embellishments, unless I'm kind of embellishing a little on each square, overlapping some of the photos here and there. So that'll give me some space for that. Let's see. Daniela says, I have envelopes for each story where I put the picture, matching embellishments if I find some, or a paper that fits the story. So when I feel like it, I already have a start. That's so good. Oh my gosh, what a good idea. Okay, and these will still fit on here quite nice. Is that going to be too much? Did I lose all of my color in my background? I hope not. Oh, those are a little bit big. I think I'll just take a little bit off of that. Good. So I'm just going to mat them just a little bit so you can kind of see, like they're just going to peek with little tiny mats behind them. Terry says she's from South Dakota, Brandon, South Dakota, just east of Sioux Falls. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a few more colors. Ooh, I'm gonna cut that one, maybe. Oh, I do like this one. So let's cut off some of these pieces. When you're doing a page like this, if you're not cutting like whole pages and you have leftover bits, you can kind of work in more colors, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I do have some whole color papers here too. No, I think I didn't need to put some of this in here. I think I might use that as kind of like my base. So I'll maybe use that a couple of times. Good. So I've kind of got a plan. It's all coming together. And there. So let's put this one here, this one here. Just laying out my grid, filling in some stuff. Just gonna put the pictures to the side for a second. Okay, so I've got some of these and we can make them different by flipping them over. Oh, that's good. Oh, this one was more blue and green. Here, let's put that in there. Okay, so I've mucked around with this. I'm seeing good patterns, good color balance. So that's what I'm looking for right now, is trying to get my color balance. And you can kind of get a feel for that with if I'm holding it up. So this piece here and this piece here, I flipped them. So one of them is from like the straight side and the other is from the diagonal side. And when I flipped this one over, it had more of the blues and purples. So I put that more to the bottom part of the page, and I put the warmer color one near the top part of the page because it was kind of offsetting a little bit. So I'm just trying to look for that balance of color and shade as I work through this page too. That makes any sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Oh yeah, I wanted a little piece of this. Yeah, this is good. Now, I don't know if I want like everyone to have like different, I totally could, and that would be great actually. Ooh. Okay, do I have some yellow? Oh, I can put those little hearts in here. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use my little hearts. And yeah, so there's lots of good things. Scrapbooking stuff is going good. And then today, oh my gosh, today I am heading out on my snowshoeing trek. So that's a thing. Oh my gosh, we got some good chat happening in here. Yeah, so a snowshoeing trek. My brother several years ago invited me to come on this snowshoeing adventure in the mountains, where we actually wear backpacks, take our clothes, take our food, and we hike up 12 kilometers. So what is that, like 9 miles, maybe, something like that, up mountains, which, you know, let's just say I am not the sportiest of gals. Let's be real, not at all. Yeah, but we go up the mountain and stay in a alpine hut for 2 nights. And while we're up there, we'll go and explore around a lake. And oh gosh, this is like perfect. Okay. Sometimes when I am working and I get something where it's just perfect, I like to just take a quick picture so that I don't forget as I move the pieces around. So there we go. Yeah, so this snowshoeing trek, oh my gosh. It'll take us probably 6 hours to do the climb up to the hut. And when we get there, it's rustic living. There is propane for cooking, but then you use wood for the wood stove, and that thankfully is provided. We don't have to go and like chop trees and stuff like that. But it's a lot. Okay, so most fun day ever. Do I have letters? I've got these cute little things, and I'm totally going to put this on here, or at least something. Let's pull. I'm gonna pull a couple of these off. They're little acrylics. So I've got one here that says memory, and that's gonna go on here. And Tori says, I'm trying to get motivated to do something. Wonder if I should work on a travel journal or if I should just start playing with December Daily. Wow, Alice, that's so adventurous. I'm not so outdoorsy at all. Neither am I. I am like the queen of hanging out inside. I know. Okay, so Brielle, it's hilarious because I'm like, oh gosh, I must have a million best day ever things. And when you're looking for them, they're not there under your nose, because I think like we're all like, oh, when are you going to use those? So, yep, couldn't find them. I'm like, how is this even real right now? So yeah, kind of funny. Couldn't find my best day ever stuff, and it was like the perfect page for it. So super bad. Okay. But I'm wondering if I have the word fun or something like that in my acrylics. I have a whole section of acrylics here. I have adventure and explore. That's good for a different project upcoming. This, love, and today. Getaway, wander, explore. I am gonna be set for exploring, let me tell you. Can you tell I like holidays? I buy tons of acrylics based on holiday stuff. Oh, I have a best. Oh, I don't know if she said best. She said most fun. You know, she's little. She's like 6, so it's adorable. Kathy says, first timer here. So excited to be here. Have lots of projects going on today. Christmas cards and lots of other projects. Thanks, Joyce Alvarez, for inviting me. Thanks, Joyce Alvarez, for inviting Kathy. And welcome, Kathy. So, ooh, I've got some cute little stars. Good. Well, I'm going to use this word, frolic. It's like the funniest word. I have this little acrylic cutout word that says frolic, and I'm like, I just don't use that word very often. What are these? Now, food things. Sun, sand. Okay, I think I found everything that might work for this so far. Okay. I got these little letters. Thought I could maybe find the word fun and make that a big word. So unfortunately, these don't say fun. Wouldn't this be the perfect if I had like the word fun on one of these? That would be so good. Tori says you could use it for a title. So happy I could frolic. I know. I've looked at it and I'm like, you know, it was probably as close to frolic as I could get on this day, because we took the kids to the playground and we chased them around like maniacs, and we kind of played the almost like the floor is lava, but instead of the floor was lava, we were like the lava monsters, and we would gobble them up if they touched the ground. They were safe on the playground stuff, and we would chase them all over. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was super fun, and it just, you know, it took me back to the days when my kids were little, and at the time, you know, we were just parents, right? Like your parents, and sometimes you play with your kids, but lots of times you just watch. And my niece literally said to me, she said, Auntie Alice, this was so fun because you actually played with us. and I'm like, I took it as a huge compliment, but then I kind of felt bad for, like, you know, her mom and dad, because, you know, I know what it's like. I've been there as a parent, and sometimes you're just tired. Jacqueline says she just opened the Silhouette Mint that she got for Christmas of 2016. I'm gonna try it today. Go, girl! I want to see. Show us, show us. Tina says, "Go you, Jacqueline." Tina is organizing her dies and making inventory pages for her binders of them. I don't use them enough. I did use my punches a couple of days. Frolic and fun. Actually, that's really good. So yeah, and that would get my frolic used up, you know, because I'm so worried about being able to use all my supplies. But it's so cute, right? Like, isn't that cute? Okay, so let's start having these on here. I'm gonna put this on this side. This one is gonna be chopped, but I can use like a little banner or something on there. That would be cute. I'll have word for frolic. There we go. Title, journaling, picture, and picture. In the middle or there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only printed 6. I thought I know why I thought I printed 7. It's because I printed that one, but then it was like, it cut off some of the kids. So I did only print 6. So I have room for a little more embellishment than I thought. Yay. Frolic and fun. She said she was looking up quotes that include frolic. And Daniela says, what does frolic mean? In Germany, frolic is the name of a dog food, but that's not it. Or wink, wink, wink. It's more like to play you would kind of frolic through a field where you're just playfully like bouncing through the fields. If somebody has like a little like technical definition or whatever, that's fine to pop that in and kind of adjust our version of the word frolic. But yeah, it's very lighthearted and playful. So on a page like this is a good opportunity to try to use a word like that if my goal is to do that. I still want to call it the most fun day ever because that's what she called it. So and I think I'll do it on this. I got this dark pink with that watercolor paper that I liked. So I think that would be a good one to put title on there. And I think I'd like some white letters in addition to these other letters. So I'm gonna have to grab those. They're on the other side of the room. Tori Wessel says, definition, play and move about cheerfully, excitedly, or energetically, cheerful, merry, or playful. See, there we go. It's in a very lighthearted way. Oh gosh, don't let me forget these, guys. Don't let me forget these. I really want to use those. So I picked some some letters that have they're pretty small. I grabbed 2 packs because, well, technically it's kind of 3 because there's actually 2 jammed in this one package. Every once in a while I lose my packaging. But this one here has sparkle on the letters and this one doesn't. And I'm like, I don't know which one I want yet. So the sparkle is a little bit on the silver side, so that could be nice. Or maybe I don't want that extra shine. Oh, well, let's be real. Y'all know me. A little extra shine is always welcome. So most fun day ever. So if I did most and then I put the word fun in these little letters, that would be super cute. Let's see, I've got an N, I've got an F, I've got a U. Good job. Today they're winning thickers. I just like to line them up on the edge of my ruler. That way I can always move them around. Can you see this? There we go, F. So I was watching a video recently from RTS Scrapbooking, and she was talking about thicker storage. And I kind of have my thicker storage sorted now, finally, because I have a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them. So, but when she was talking about it, she talked about a few things that were super handy. She said that when you're peeling your letters off, if you have the choice, peel from the outsides of the sheet working in, because then you have fewer things that might eventually pop off and get caught on the edges as you're slipping them in and out of the packaging. And I just thought that was a really good tip. But she had a whole video talking about storage options and how you can keep your packages, what to do when your letters fall off the packaging, because we know that happens. Yeah, just lots of great thickers tips. So these are almost too big. almost. Yeah, I should have enough of these letters. Okay, so I'll stick my words on here. And I don't normally do the journaling while we're live, but I'll give you an idea of what I'm gonna write, which is really handy because recently, oh my gosh, recently I had to go back and finish my layout. I'll show you. It's the one back here. I'll show you. And when I went to go do that, I'm like, so it had the title Missing You, and I had an idea that it was probably about my kid, but I couldn't really think of what vibe I was going for, like what kind of heartfelt emotion I was trying to portray on my page. So I went back and I watched my Scrapbook live, and I'm like, oh yeah. So then I was able to do my journaling. Oh, Tori says, I found the cutest quote poem. If memories could see, I would show them our wonderful moments of fun and frolic, of love and togetherness. Durga Cannon. Do you know where I can find that video? I need thicker storage tips. RTS Scrapbooking. That's the name of her YouTube channel. Her name is Janet, and she is hilarious and super fun and filled with ideas. She's kind of like me. She's been scrapbooking for 20 some years, and she is just turning it all into amazing YouTube tips, tricks, and ideas. Ooh, I wonder if I can fit day ever on the same line here. Day ever. No, I can't. So that answers that question. I was able to look at the word most and realize that no, that wasn't going to work. All right. And I didn't write the word the because I'm going to write it with my marker. So yeah, so I highly recommend, if you haven't seen Janet's thicker storage video, she has a lot of videos. She's very, very prolific. Man, like that girl can get stuff done. But yeah, her thicker stuff. And right now she's been doing a series about design principles, like design techniques, design principles. No, not so much design, templates and just layout, kind of like using a sketch, but she's breaking them into like actual styles. So like one where you split the page in half and then, or you use a piece of it and it's like the horizontal, a go-to horizontal design. Grids is one, go-to designs. Thank you, Tina. Yes, her go-to series. And yeah, super good. Okay, this is almost done. Oh, I'm gonna save room for exclamation point because I love them. Okay. EVER. I can't believe I needed to spell this out after not being able to find some best day ever kind of thing. Because I just would have changed best day ever into like, you know, I would have still parts of it or something. It's going crooked on here. And then there's gaps in between them. And I'm sorry, but like the part of me that is a little bit like perfectionistic is like having a little panic attack over here. It's like, how is that not straight? Make it straight. Okay. Oh, white pen. That'd be cuter. This pen has worked really good for me, I have to say. I always used the Signo ones, but I find that they're always plugged up. So I ended up getting this Jelly Roll white pen, Jelly Roll. And it seems to like, I can just pick it up and write with it. So that's been nice. The most fun day ever. So that's just the words that I added, and I haven't added like any little embellishment. Tina says, I love the Jelly Roll white pens. I used to always use Sakura. Yeah, I find that these ones are super good. It's my first Jelly Roll one, so I've been extremely happy with that. Okay, so let's open up these little embellishments here and put some of them on here because they're so cute. They've been in my scrappy stash for a while, and every time I look at them, I'm like, how come I haven't used these yet? Does anybody have anything like that? Like, it's not like they want to get rid of it because they still like it, but it's just not that thing that's ever made it onto a layout. Oh, I got some packaging on there. They're so okay. So I'm gonna stick this right over this one picture. My nephew's coming out the bottom of the slide, so that's kind of a perfect one where I can like mat it, and it's gonna like mat like right over top of the picture itself. But I think that's gonna be cute. So I'm gonna use this funky one right here. Or maybe I'll use this one. The funky one's a little bit bigger. Okay, let's try to make it straight. Yeah. So in order to be prepared for my snowshoe trip, we'll go back to that for a second. I've been trying to do some treadmill stuff, but instead of just flat treadmill like I would normally do, I've actually been trying to do some hills. They're torture. They're absolute torture. It's so evil. I'm like, why do I want to do this? Like, it's the challenge of it. And I don't know, I think because it's like just one of those things. Like, what have you done something in your life where you're like, I can't believe I did that because I'm so not the person that likes that kind of stuff, and yet I did it and it's done and it's all good. Heather says, can you say bucket list? I know, but I have been there, so it doesn't count anymore. If you've done it already, then it doesn't count. I've done it like 3 times, I think. So that's not a bucket list anymore. That's like asking for the problems. And like I have like literally had some really, really horrible results. Like I lost toenails from climbing up. I pulled my hip flexor muscle. I had never felt such pain. It was horrible. But here I am going again. So it couldn't have been that bad, right? Couldn't have been that bad. Okay, so here's what I did with that one picture that wasn't square. Look how cute that looks now. So good. Brielle says, when we did the grid layout with Paige Taylor Evans, it helped me to think about a grid layout more flexibly. Okay, so I was just thinking that I don't know if I finished those pages because I'm pretty sure I just found them in my cart, not finished. Or at least one of them's finished. Okay, so one of them's done. Here we go. There's a page. So that's the rest of the packet. It'll have everything in there so that I can complete it. But I'm moving it to like the front of my cart so that maybe it will inspire me to get it done sooner rather than later. Oh, I just found a little sticky piece. It's like gold glitter, like round dot, little tiny gold glitter round dot. It just kind of fell off of something, and I have this habit of sticking it to my printer, so my printer gets covered in things. Oh, I know, Kathy, it's amazing, right? We actually sat with Paige Evans, and she walked us through the steps of making the layout, and it was like totally beautiful and adorable. And I'm like, okay, I can't let this like be one of those projects that I don't actually finish. So I printed a picture right there and I finished that page. So I was like, woo woo. Big celebration time. So it was good. Okay, that's cute on there. I just need my tiny attacher. Okay, so I'm gonna start like slowly sticking this page together. I just had to replace my refill that goes into my Glue Dots tape roller, which I totally love, by the way. And it was super easy. Like not maybe quite as easy as the Tombow one, but pretty darn close. Like it was pretty simple. So I was pretty happy because I hadn't actually replaced one of the refills in those before. When I first got them, I didn't have refills, so I just bought like several of the actual things, and I'm like, oh, you can get refills, perfect. That'll be cheaper. Okay, so I'm gonna attach this cute little pin. It looks like a little drop pin, and it has a little star on it. So I'm gonna attach that with a staple with my tiny attacher, which is actually a tiny stapler from Close to My Heart, because I used to be a Close to My Heart person. Okay, so I'm noticing on this title piece that I don't necessarily like the way it, the edges are on it, I guess. Like, because I've matted all the other pieces, it feels unfinished almost. So I'm just gonna take my white marker, my white pen thing, and I'm gonna draw a line around it kind of like softly, and I think that'll help give it that same kind of feeling without having to make it bigger. And for anyone that has not ever seen, I have the greatest trick for doing faux stitching. So not all of us are great with sewing. I am one of them. If you've seen some of my scrapbook lives, you've seen this in action. However, if you take a white gel pen and you draw some lines, just like what I'm doing here right now, you can see how I framed it just with that one little tiny white line, and it's like, it totally makes it like pop now. It feels like this little card is complete, because before it kind of just didn't have edges. So if you draw straight lines with a little gel pen, and then you go along with a little paper piercer and poke holes along the line, you have like what looks like stitching on the page, and it's so easy. So don't draw like little dash marks, just draw straight lines and then go poke little holes in paper. Super cute. Oh my gosh. Best way to cheat on stitching ever. Oh my, okay, so that little line, you can't believe how much difference that made. I'm gonna do it on this purple piece too. It's like purple stripe, which was the backside of the multicolored stripe. But I'm gonna do that on there too. I haven't figured out what's going on there yet, but because it's such a solid, because the lines on it are so simple and neutral, this will be a nice way to kind of give a little bit of definition to this piece too. Okay. So one thing I feel I am missing a little bit, because I don't have my wild hair kit to work with, is lots of times she sends me little packages of little embellishments and things, die cuts and stuff. And it turns out that I don't often buy those. I'm kind of funny about them because I feel that I don't use them up that much. But then when I'm doing the live things with the kids, and I'm like, oh, this goes on here and this goes on here, and I'm like, that was great. Oh, I do have something that's sitting right here from last month. I've got some more of these little enamel things left, so I might use some of those on here too. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I've got one of those little black pieces on here. I'm just gonna stick this onto its little piece right now. Yeah, so did anybody say that they have actually done some like bucket listy kind of things that surprise themselves. They're like, I can't believe I did that. One thing that is still on my bucket list, believe it or not, is zip lining. I have never been zip lining. Like, how is that a thing that I haven't done yet? I love the idea of going zip lining. And we were actually going to do it on this one cruise. My husband and I did a cruise down to Mexico on the Pacific side, which I wouldn't highly as recommend, although the cruise was amazing. Just location wise, I would say, you know, there's maybe better places you can go. But I really loved, loved being on the boat. But we were going to go and do some zip lining. But my husband put his back out literally on our way to the airport for the trip. So that didn't happen. We were not going zip lining. The poor guy was like in super big pain the whole time. Okay, so I've sacrificed a piece of this heart paper. And look at this. I can't see any of the hearts. I thought I was going to be able to see perfect little hearts around there. And I can't. I can't. And it just looks weird. And I don't know if I can cut the picture down a little. I'll cut the picture down. It's going to be fine. We're going to get those hearts. And Kathy says, chime in, Joyce. Tina says, riding in a helicopter. Totally cool to do. And Joyce says, I went ziplining in Costa Rica, in the Costa Rican rainforest in September. It was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again. Yeah, see, I've seen people's videos, I've seen people's pictures, and I'm like, yes, how has this not happened? Yeah, my kids have actually been. My brother took them ziplining in the mountains the one time when I was away on a trip, and he took my kids to the mountains. They did whitewater rafting, which I've also never done. And I kind of debate on whether or not I'd really like to do that or not. Because, you know, cold. Okay, I'm so glad I cut that down. Now I can see the cute, adorable little hearts. I don't have that white border, but because the paper's really white, it's going to be fun. Okay. All you see is glare. There we go. Now we can see the adorable hearts. Okay. It's all good. Everything's turning out right. Ooh, and I have these little corners. Let's put some of those on there. I'm embellishing as I go. This is so different than my normal way of doing this. Yeah, my kids got to go whitewater rafting, zip lining, and then kayaking down a river. And like quite a good river. Like they went on the Athabasca, Christine. I was like, what? You took my kids where? They're like, it was fine. It was totally fine. I'm like, that's a big river. That's a scary river. It moves fast. Because, you know, in the summer, we've gone to the McLeod River, which goes through Whitecourt. And McLeod River is like slow and lazy. Like we get on it in tubes and you float down in tubes and it's totally good. But yeah, they did like scary. Oh my gosh, these little photo corners, they're gonna look so cute on here. Okay. Good to step out of the box because, you know, photo corners for a long time were not like, okay, so when I started scrapbooking, oh yeah, photo corners were the bomb. But, you know, I started scrapbooking like almost 20 years ago. And then they weren't the bomb. And now look at them back. Thank you, Shamel. You've made them cute again. She has a way of doing that, making things adorably cute. And then, yeah, well, I've done some like pretty adventurous things. Okay, so I'm gonna actually stick things on here. Oof. It's like getting real, guys. getting real. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay. Okay, that's adorable. I've got this to stick on here. I want to do like a little memory tag on there. Shamel makes everything cute. I agree, Tina. And like I love, so this paper that I had with that had the background of the cameras on it. Which one was that one? I'm pretty sure it's a Shamel paper because it has cameras all over it. Is that not some, oh no, it's Amy Tangerine. I was wrong. So, but Shamel puts cameras in every single one of her collections. I think that's cool. Yeah. That's funny. My son must have set something up because I am getting notifications when his door for his house locks and unlocks. I'm like, what is that? Why am I getting notifications? And he calls his house Super Home. Super Home. Okay. Oh boy. What a kid. Okay. Stick down. Okay. Oh, and I want to do this on here. Oh, cute. I think I should pull out another one of these little pieces, use at least 3 of them on here. So I like to do that when I'm doing a grid layout. I like to repeat things in 3s, and I'll kind of show you how I've done that here in a couple of other ways already. Click, I could use click, or, oh, perfect, this one's so cute. Maybe I need to move this down here. Yep, that's gonna go up there. Then I can use my little hello there. So cute. Oh, I'm changing things. Woo! Look at me stepping out, but it's gonna be adorable. So what have I discovered so far? It takes me longer, I think, when I don't have one of my kits from the Wild Hair Kits. But, you know, it's all good. My kit will come in and I'll have fun. Maybe I can do like a bonus event. Anybody like, you know. Ooh, if I trim that just nice and tight. I think I can like match just the words. I don't know how I'm gonna stick that on there. Sure, I'll put some adhesive right behind the letters. That's what I'll do. What do you guys use for liquid glue? I've been using this one from Lawn Fawn, and it has a nice little pointy end on it. Really like it. So props to Lawn Fawn, because this has been, I'm not a big liquid glue person, so for them to have converted me to using a liquid glue at all. Stampin' Up! Has one of those, yeah. I used to always just use my liquid glass from Close to My Heart, and I still do really, really like that actually, but. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I've got this lovely little acrylic, and it has the stuff on here that says hello there, and it is in pink flocking, so they're fuzzy, right? So that's what flocking is. But when I put this over top of my photo, because I need to layer over the photo, it just wasn't, you couldn't see it good enough. So now I can put this over top of my photo. It layers on here like perfect. And it's just super cute. I still have that feel that it's like that plastic acrylic stuff, while I still get the chance to see the letters a little bit more. So that's good. Good stuff. Okay, I think I'm gonna just stick that on there right now. If I need to add something else, things will just get added. I think I maybe should have done some more color slightly closer to the edges with my ink, but I didn't, and you know, that's where it is right now, so it's fine. I'll live with it. Oh, I wanted to use another one of these things. Let's go on there without covering too much. I'm kind of covering part of her shoe, part of her head. I don't like that. Oh, I could have done it on here, maybe. Definitely not that one. Oh, I could go on that one, but then I've got those two close together. Oh, I can just do it on the one I'm going to do my journaling on. Or just put embellishments on. Okay, so here, this is going to go on there. Okay, and then, okay, so I was talking about threes. Joy says, I love how you layer. I'm trying to learn to do that more often. Yeah, so I'm trying to be better about layering here. So I was talking about threes. So on this page so far that you have a hard time seeing because I don't have it on camera, and darn it, why couldn't the technology cooperate today? I'll have to work on it with my other computer so that it worked, because it worked on my laptop last time. So I have here a little bit of that acrylic, and I've got a little bit of the acrylic, and I've got a little bit of the acrylic. And then I have here that plaid stuff, and I've got the plaid stuff, and I've got the plaid stuff. So I've got the plaid stuff on here a couple of times. And then I have got this black acrylic stuff that I'm using, these enamel pieces. So I've got one here and I've got one here, and I'm going to add one probably right in here. And I'm going to pull out my arrow stamps because I wanted to use a couple of those. So on the most fun day ever, I kind of have a great big star, which I think is way too big. And I've got some hearts, so it's looking like it's gonna have to be a heart or a little grouping of hearts. There's a little thing stuck on my thing here. It's not coming off. Okay, use the other ones. So I'm gonna do a little cluster of hearts on here. Oh, it's not stuck down yet. I need to do that. But that way I've added some of that black enamel on there in 3 different places, so that will kind of pop off of there then. Okay. So heart, heart, heart. And I'll just do like a little poof of hearts that goes like that, you know, like that's how you put embellishments on, is like a little poof. So. Okay, so that's good. I think I can stick this one down. I'll try to get as many of the pieces stuck down, and that way I can hold it up to the camera for a little bit before I add some more little finishing touches. Oh, you guys want to know the funny thing? I made that coffee ages ago. I haven't even thought of it. We've been too busy having too much fun. Jacqueline says, I made my first stamp. I'm just waiting for the ink to soak in and then I can try it. Oh my gosh, you should come on camera and show us. I would like to see. So, you know, if you'd like. Jacqueline's pretty good about sharing stuff, you know, sometimes. No pressure. I just like to see what everybody else is up to too. Okay, so that's not stuck down. Oh, this one can go down. Okay, and I didn't add any more photo corners, but I think that's okay. I've got them just off that one in the center. Oh, I would like to add a little bit of more sparkle something somewhere on here because I have those letters, the fun letters that say fun, right? And they are sparkly. And then I used the little bit of sparkle on those things. I don't know what I'm going to put in the middle of this. Okay. So I've got this picture here. That's not, I think I stuck everything else on. I'll just hold this one with my thumb. Okay, so here's what we got so far. And you can see I've got the repetition of the acrylic, or enamel, whatever. Sorry, enamel, probably not acrylic. Then I also have this is the acrylic, that's the word I was looking for there. And then I've got a piece up here as well. And then there's a little piece right here. You can see that I've got the plaid here, the plaid here, the plaid here. So I've got that kind of shared around the page. Yeah. So I think that it's coming together pretty good. And it's not like every single thing has to be in 3, but 3 is definitely good. Tina says, I love the 3 little hearts with a cute little title. Yeah, I just kind of needed something to kind of fill in the little gap spot. And I knew that would be a good place to kind of put an embellishment. So when I was putting the words down, I'm like, okay, if this is here, I'll have this gap. It's going to look awkward until you fill it. And then it's like, oh, that's lovely. Like I'm like impressed because like sometimes I'm just like looking at that hole and then it's like, no, what have I done? Okay, so let's open up these stamps because I didn't get to use those yet. And I really wanted to because I love arrows. I love them. So I'm not sure if I want to stamp right on there. I think that's just asking for trouble because it's like photo paper, right? So that can be a little slick, especially when you're stamping. Caution. Oh, Jacqueline says she can show us her stamp. So we'll go to that first. So let's put her up. Okay, can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this is my stamp that I made. I don't know if it'll get close enough so you can see it. It says handmade by Jacqueline Bruce.
How did you make that?
I finally used my Silhouette Mint. Ooh.
Oh.
It is tiny and it really works. So if you can use a Silhouette, you can use the Mint and make stamps. I was really scared of it, so I waited 2 years to try it.
So it's like a stamp maker? Like, tell me about this.
Yeah. So you use Silhouette Mint software, which is really similar to Silhouette software, and you tell it what size stamp thing you have. I'll just pull one out. And you design it, and then you just feed this little card in the back of the machine. And this is the stamp part. So you pull that off and stick it on the base. So you can't really see it, but it kind of engraved handmade by Jacqueline on there, and then you just apply the ink. So it's permanently black though until it wears out, which I think is supposed to take like 30 or 50 stamps or something, and then you can reapply, I think.
Okay.
But we'll see, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
It was pretty easy once I got it installed.
And so, like, when you stamped it, was there like any chance that you were gonna like rock and get some other black there? Because it doesn't look like it's like trimmed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like it's soaked. Somehow it etches it and then it soaks the ink into it. So at the beginning, I had to stamp off all the extra black ink, so it was kind of smudgy.
Yeah.
But now that the extra's stamped off, it just comes out clear every time.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, I'd never even heard of this thing. I didn't know that the Mint was like this like fancy like stamp maker.
Well, it might be out of style. I got a whole bunch of blanks clearance at Michael's like a year and a half ago, and then still never used it because I was scared. So
Well, that's super
pretty cool.
That's super cool. And so like with the blanks and stuff, like obviously you can only use that once because you've made the stamp now. So you just buy more blanks and you can make more things.
Yeah.
And what size does it kind of go up to?
I'm not 100% sure. I have a ton of these that are 45 millimeters, I think, by 45 millimeters, because they were the size that was on sale. It came with a little one, like you could do a return address label. I don't think it goes a whole lot bigger than the 45, at least not by the hole on the back of the machine.
Okay.
So
cool. So 45 millimeters for people that are not in the, what's that, like 2.5 inches, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, you know, even like in my mind, like I don't read millimeters in my head.
A little under 2 inches, I think.
A little under 2 inches? Okay. Yeah, because I'm 2.2, so yeah, that totally makes sense. Cool. That's really cool. I thank you for showing us, because like I totally, when you said you were opening up this silhouette mint, I'm assuming it was just like a mint colored silhouette or something. Like I didn't realize. I'm like, man, she's been sitting on that for 2 years. So this is even better. Okay, well, thank you so much. I will take you off of here, put you back up. Well, that was cool. Kathy says the stamp is so cute, and Ruth said, super cute stamp. Okay, let's stick this on here. Okay, I wanted to put my stamp. I want to stamp something on here, but I think I'll stamp onto some paper. Need some paper. Come on, Alice. I had a piece of white. Just plain old cardstock. Here. It's the one I cut circles out of, so perfect. So, and what color? Ooh, that's always a good question. I can do any color now. So, I think I'm gonna go with pink because I can pull more pink into my page. You know, favorite color and all. Actually, it's funny because like if you asked me what was my favorite color, I'd probably tell you pink, but then maybe I would tell you yellow. And on certain days I might say, oh, I love turquoise. but generally it's pink. Which is good. When you look around me, it's good that I love pink. These arrows I thought were super cute because there were so many different styles of arrows, and that makes it super fun. Okay, I might have to stamp off a couple times because this is a new stamp. Cute. Okay. Little arrow stamp in here. And my favorite, not pussycatting. So yeah, okay. So coming up into December here, which we do like as of like what, next week? Who here is doing a December daily project? Anybody? Anybody getting excited for that? Everybody think like, oh my gosh, that is like the craziest project I've ever heard of. Trying to do like scrapbook stuff every single day in December of all months. Come on, people. Sorry, am I putting my own 2 cents into this idea of December daily? Gina says, I'll be working on mine. And Tori said, I decided to make some December daily unboxing. Well, that's got to be difficult with the mail situation. Come on, mail, let's get rolling. Tori needs to make some unboxing videos. Oh, this is cute. Okay, so I like these little arrows. I don't know if I like this one. It's too fat for it there. It's like way too fat. So let's put a little skinnier arrow, I guess. Try again. You know, sometimes when you think it's gonna work and then you do it and then you're like, oh, that didn't work. That was just one of those moments. Okay. So I've stamped out 3 of this arrow. So if I can cut them out without too much pain and suffering, then I will do that. Let's see. Tori says, no, I mean, I ordered from 4 different places and now I've received 3 of the 4. Woo-hoo! And so I was making unboxing while listening to you. Well, that's good. You know, if you got your orders, then I'm super happy because, you know, it's sad when orders don't arrive, but they will eventually. We'll get all our stuff. Yeah, it's really tough when you start to kind of count on online orders and then the mail isn't going though. Because of the deal with September where I didn't get my order on time, I had placed my November order extra early. Extra early. But, you know, it brought a whole different level of creativity to the table today. Because I don't always play with my inks, do I? Or do stamping. So this is good. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of these little arrows. I'm going to include all 3 of them on the page just so that I can kind of bring that same kind of look through the page again. And just, it's one more way for me to add another cute little embellishment. I think I'm going to put these, oh, I don't know if I want to put them onto foam tape. I was going to say I could put them on foam tape, but because they're a little bit tiny, they might be a bit of a pain in the butt to put on foam tape. So let's just not. Normally I like to do that to give myself a little bit of dimension. Okay. Okay, we got 1 arrow. I can add some words right there. Craft time at Auntie's. Oh yeah. We made little wooden boxes where they painted them and the girls added their name using some little sparkly gold letters, and they thought that was a lot of fun doing some craft time. They're quite independent kids, which I was like, I should know better because I know that they're very independent, but it still kind of caught me off guard when I was like, you know, seeing how I had gone upstairs to grab something and like they had the paint out and they were like painting on the boxes already. I'm like, ah! Oh my gosh. Oh, Danielle, she's got to run. We're taking too long here. Alice, come on, let's get this on here. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this on and we're gonna do the draw before we have to lose anybody else, because I don't want anybody to miss out on the draw because it's amazing. So here we go. Let's put this on here. Great. Okay, so here is the layout, somewhat finished, somewhat, you know, a few little finishing touches and some journaling and stuff to add. But I think all in all, it's looking pretty great so far. Let's put the lid on my ink before I get that everywhere. And let's have a draw. What do we got in the house? We got 24 people in the house right now. Sorry, Danielle, I'm so sorry that, you know, I couldn't have done this like 5 minutes earlier. So 24 people, one of those is me. So what we're gonna do is pull up a random number generator. And I'll do 1 out of 20. Oh, we got 25. 25? Yeah, 25. Okay, 25. So out of 24, generate a number. The number is 21. So let me scroll down. We got 25, 24, 23, 22. Well, what do we got? We got lost one. And Tina Gale. Tina Gale, you are our winner today. So let me see here. How do I make this go to everyone? Tina Gale, congratulations. I will have you email me at alice@alicebowl.com and you will claim your prize. Congrats to Tina. So please message me so that you can get your prize. I will send your information on to Allison from the Wild Hair Kits. She will hook you up with a deluxe kit, and the deluxe kit has, oh, so many goodies in it. Usually there's like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 pieces of pattern paper plus cardstock. If you want cardstock or not, you can choose that. If not, you get more different things. You get to custom select it. So if you want cardstock, you say yeah. If you don't want cardstock, you say no thanks. If you like buttons, you say I love buttons. If you hate chunky things, you tell her that you don't like chunky stuff. It's super custom in the way that you get to kind of go after that. And if there's special things that you're looking for in particular, like let her know. Like she knows now that I'm a super big fan of using acrylics. So she sends me lots of yummy acrylics in my kit. So it's super fun. Ruth says, this was really fun, Alice. Thanks for hosting. So I am going to go on and see why my Friday 15 code isn't working, and I will make sure that that is working. But if anybody is interested in taking advantage of the Black Friday savings for the Load 219 challenge, which starts February 1st. So we don't have to worry about it until the holidays are over and we're actually ready to do some stuff. I'm going to be there's a code and it's Friday 15. When you go to the scraphappy.org/load219, you can use that, save 15% on your load registration. Okay, so Tori says, I'm wondering, Alice, where are you thinking of putting your journaling? So I've got 2 little boxes down here. I'm probably going to actually fill this one in with a little bit more simple paper because I don't think I could journal on that and read it very nicely. So I will journal on these 2 boxes and I'll just have like little notes up there. So, and I'll probably add a few more little things as I kind of finish the page, because sometimes as you add the journaling, you're like, oh, there's this lovely little thing. Yeah, so that's why I saved like a couple of boxes just for journaling. I knew I wanted to have like my title, but then I want to kind of talk about the things that we did. If I have to, I will take a piece like this corner piece, and I might turn it into like a fold out little pocket thing or something if I have to, just so I have a little extra space for journaling. Sometimes it's not enough. So yeah, so that's what's gonna happen there. Before we wrap up, I was going to show you guys this page from last month. So yeah, my missing you page that I made last month with the cut file, because last month in my wild hair kit, I received this exclusive cut file. And anybody that knows me knows I'm a little bit tech averse. And I actually don't use a Silhouette machine. So I don't make my own cut files. So I was like really excited to get such a pretty cut file in my kit. And I put that right to good use. And I had decided that with the white space that I had left, like the sky was like really washed out and white looking in the picture. And so I just cut it extra long on the white like photo paper so that I had more space for journaling. And I think I still ended up spacing my lines wrong at the bottom, but I'll live with it. I'll live. It's fine. So I wrote, when the boys started college and university this fall, at first I felt cavalier about it. I convinced myself that I was fine because I was so excited that they were starting such big adventures in their lives. I knew I'd be busy and I didn't think I'd miss them too much. Luckily, Joe was home, or to his home, on weekends, so I'd see him and he'd call too. I didn't hear from Ryan for what felt like ages. Days turned to weeks, but I didn't want to make Ryan feel bad. He was so busy with school and swimming, but I was totally missing him. So I put that into my journaling, and I just thought it was good to kind of capture how I went from like, oh, I'm fine, to be like, no, I miss my kid. And it's still, he'll go like 2 weeks and like, I'll hear nothing. And it's like, dude, hello. We spent every freaking day together like for the last 3 years. And now all of a sudden I see nothing. Tina says, remember those days. It gets better. I know. And you know, he's just super busy with his classes and swim schedule. So, you know, I get it. He's a busy guy, but you know, call your mother. Ruth says, great journaling. Well, thank you. Yeah, so that was really good. And then last month I also worked on pocket pages because I normally do one. What I'm gonna do, I think, is a Halloween insert to go with this. So this was the page that I put together with the pictures that I didn't have enough pictures last month, so I didn't get this page even close to complete. So they just hadn't downloaded from my phone to my computer, so I had to go do that manually, and I didn't realize when I was printing the pictures, I'm like, why is there only 4 pictures from this month? So this is good. And then I had the matching page to go with it, and I was finally able to use like this wooden embellishment that said October. So that was really nice because I've had that sitting in my stash for a while and it was so pretty, I wanted to use it. But yeah, like I kind of did some really similar kind of tricks on this. I'm just gonna talk about that for a second. So you can see this paper here has arrows in the background, which I love. I've got a piece of that here and here. And then on this page, I didn't use like every space with that same paper, but I used it 2 more times here so that you see that repetition of that pattern, of that color. And I think that it really, really helps to kind of see that. And when you look at the page as a whole, it looks really cohesive. Another thing that I did is that the embellishments that I used are all from the same pack. So I had a pack of die cuts from Simple Stories, and that's pretty much all I used to embellish on here. So I gave myself some white spaces to journal on, and then I've added just little die cuts from that pack here and there. So you get that repetition of the same colors throughout the whole page. It's pretty simple. It's a very simple layout, but I think that it looks really nice when you look at it, right? And for me, I want to record some of those events that aren't necessarily the big stories, right? Like I wanted to say, hey, I hang out with the girls. We went to a swim conference together and do different stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, Christine said her son is the same and he lives in town. And Tori said, when we were away, we had to call mom at least once a week. I know. I told my son that. So far, less follow through on that. Yeah, fortunately, he's better with his homework. Tori said, and we have a group chat. And I think that that also helps. We put prayer requests in there and send funny photos or what we're up to. And while we live away, it helps bring us closer. My parents live in Toronto. My sister and her husband are currently in France, moving to Chad next year. My brother and his wife live in England, and I'm moving to Kenya next year. So I'm so thankful for the internet. Yeah, and she's going to be doing missionary work in Kenya at a missionary boarding school as a child safety coordinator. Oh, that's so nice, Tori. I'd seen that you were going. I'd seen a post that you had talked about that. And you were talking about your plans for what you felt were the most important scrapbooking things to take with you. And I know that no matter what you take with you, you're going to make amazing projects because you have like that designer at heart. It just is amazing. So that's so great. Yeah, so I think this was good. I am going to finish up for today. And I'm really looking forward to next month. When I will be scrapbooking with my wild hair kit, because no matter what, I will have this one, right? It will probably be here Monday. That's what happened the last time. It arrived on the Monday and I'm like, oh, so close. But yeah, I think next month I'll be using my wild hair kit. I will be scrapbooking in December and I would love to have you join me. If you are interested in joining me for a Load 219, use the code. It's good until Monday. Good through Cyber Monday, Friday 15. I'll go and make sure that it works. So if it doesn't work at this very second, Natalie said there was a problem, but I'd seen a couple of people that had registered, so I thought it was working fine, but I'll make sure it works. And so that'll be good to go for Load 219, the Ruby Red Scissors, scrapbooking inspired by the Wizard of Oz. And then we are also going to be doing my version of a Christmas project in December/January. The class that I do is called Scrapbook Christmas in January, and it's going to be out next week for registration, because all through the month of December it is just helpful advice, tips, things that you might want to include in a project that we actually do together in January. So if the idea of scrapbooking your December memories is appealing to you, but the idea of actually doing it in December is less appealing to you, then you might be interested. I keep the class like super, super inexpensive. And if you paid for it once, you're in every year automatically. If you take yourself off the mailing list, then you'll be off the list, but otherwise you'll get the emails every year. And I super love to do it. So I keep it really inexpensive, and it's just a way for us to work on actually doing some of these projects that mean a lot to us for the holidays. So yeah, what is the class name? It is called Scrapbook Christmas in January, and it's actually not even available yet for sale. I'll have that set up next week. But if you're on the email list for this, so you got the info for this, but I'll have information out in your email next week. Yeah, so Scrapbook Christmas in January. It's on the Scrapbook Wonderland, or it will be through the Scrapbook Wonderland site. So Terry says, thanks for an interesting afternoon. I'm so glad you could join me. If anybody wants to see, as we finish up, I'm going to show you a little travel notebook if you're heading out the door already right now. This is a project that I just finished the other day, so I was really excited about it, and I'm like, yay, I got this done, so I'm gonna just show you. So I have this bag here. It's from the Space Needle, and I've got a map in there and a couple postcards. But now I'm keeping my little journal that I made in there. So I'm going to show you this and then bid you farewell for today. So I put a sticker on the front. This is a Webster's Pages notebook. They had hooked us up for prizes at the ScrapHappy family reunion that we had in Denver, and I went from Denver to Seattle to go to the Scrap Gals event. So I took this book and I just made it. I started making it right then. So in here I have, let's see if I can make it so that you can actually see this. I have lots of details. Several of the girls that were in Seattle brought their stamps to the event so that we could use their stamps and the different stuff that they had from the area so that we didn't necessarily all have to buy them. And then I've got pictures and lots of journaling, wonderful stamps in here, different things that we did and saw, people that I met and got to hang out with. This is Claire. She's from Australia. And we went up in the Needle. We went to this amazing glass gallery, the Chihuly Garden and Glass. You can see a bunch of the gals that we were hanging out with there. Oh, and then, yeah, so I've included things like this was the ticket for the entry. I've got another picture stashed inside there. This was my packaging from some Seattle fudge that I had, hanging out with friends at the Chihuly with lots of journaling on there. I wonder if I can move that and make it. And then inside here, I've got like lots and lots of photos from different parts of the event. Tori says, oh, I love the idea of having photos taped in there. What a great idea. I'm working on a travel journal right now for all the fun places I've gone this year. You're giving me tons of great ideas. So if you just give yourself a little more margin on the center of your book, that makes it so easy to tape them inside. And sometimes I will say that washi tape will lift, and I just take a little bit of paper tape and put it under the washi tape. So extra secret tip, because sometimes they don't like to stay. And then I've created some little, like more little fold outs for in the book. I printed a bunch of little photos tiny, and so I've got those folded in there too from going to the market. Pictures with some friends. Let's see, oh, we were talking about Tiffany earlier, so there's Tiffany and there's Tracy. Anybody follow Artful Lee? There's Leanne. We got lots of my friends in there and ScrapHappy. There was several ScrapHappy members at the Scrap Gals event, so that was super fun. I did some of the journaling while I was there, and I added some of the photos while I was there using my Canon selfie, and I print them like half of a 4x6 size for most of these. They're mostly printed that size. Yeah, and so different kinds of like flips. I wanted to make it really fun and interactive as you go through the book. I've got my itinerary from the event. I wanted to include that. So any of the little bits, and I'm not the best at saving all the little bits, but I've saved some. So we had little name tags. I saved my name tag. This was from the ice cream bar that were brought especially for us to have. Some more photos. I got pictures with Paige Evans and Emily Jo. Oh my gosh. She was like the sweetest. And when she heard that I was there, she's like, Alice! Because she knew my creativation videos. And so I got pictures with Emily Jo, and she was just such a sweetheart. And yeah, you can see I've got all kinds of like little bits. Let's see, who was it? Jolene, she actually had brought some stamps, like several packages of stamps that were from the area. So that was super good. A couple of the gals had dies. So I've got like little dies in there. So yeah, drinking wine, hanging out with the gals. these were all the ScrapHappy gals that were at the event. And then gals that were at the Salt Lake from the previous year. And then we did selfies together. So I wanted to include them all. I printed them a little smaller because it can be like kind of not inspiring to look at a whole bunch of selfies necessarily, but when you put them all together like this and you can see them all together, it's super fun, right? And I had some that were sideways, so I've got those there. And our big group photo, I managed to fold it so it didn't like crease over somebody's face. I was able to get the great big group photo in there because I just needed a bigger picture. Like you can't print like this tiny little picture and try to see people. I actually worked on a lot of this album while I was on the airplane. So that was really helpful for me, is like on the airplane on the way home from Seattle. That's when I was really digging into getting the book done. They did a Scrapbook live version, and Claire and I both went on it, and I had answered a question, and I talk about my little smart ass response that I had on there, because I'm like, I jokingly responded that my favorite episode was the one that I was on. And then I admitted it was actually the one with Tiffany's Scrapbook Room Reno, because it was just so funny. Yeah, and we hosted a little after party back in my hotel room that night for a bunch of the gals that we'd hung out with on the weekend. And then I talked about a book that I'd read about the Space Needle as a kid. I wanted to just include it somewhere in the book. The size is really good, I have to say. Like, let me just tell you, like, I'm pretty sure it's just a standard traveler's notebook. It's like 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. That's the size of this book. And then like leaving Seattle, I printed all these like little tiny photos with little pics from the airport. And this is actually me scrapbooking on the plane. So I took a picture of my tray with me scrapbooking on it. And then I had a few more bonus shots from going to the Space Needle that I wanted to finish with. And you can see like I had this lovely die cut, but I used it kind of as a negative over here, and yeah, just finishing off the trip. So these pages are lined pages, which help me a lot for journaling. And at first I was like, well, that's weird if you're putting like artsy stuff in it, but it just wasn't. It was just great for journaling. And then, you know, anywhere that I could kind of leave a space for photos, it was good. And if you know what photo is going to go in there, even like that's extra good. You can like, you could write right on the paper, and then you stick your photo over top, and it's totally fine. So even if you don't have the photos with you, it's easy to do. Yeah, I think with the line pages, it's really good. So I was just really proud that I actually got it finished. And I thought that was really fun. So there's just a little bonus project to look at from today. And oh, maybe next time I will share, if someone can remind me, I'm sure I'll remember, to share my Christmas card album that I made. So it's like a little bit, looks a little bit like a December daily. However, I did not do December daily. I printed off some of the great moments from Christmas, and then I put it all together with all of our Christmas cards from the season. And so I made like a Christmas card mini album with some of those memories in it as well. And that's super fun. Yeah, so that is all I was going to share today. Don't forget to check out the Load 219 at scraphappy.org. If you're looking for a custom kit, pop over to thewildhairkits.com and get yourself hooked up with some scrappy supplies. And if you're not in Canada, yours will actually arrive super fast. If you're in Canada, our strike will be over soon, and we will get our kits fairly quickly too. They usually take like about 2 weeks, honestly, to come to Canada, which is not bad. They have to go through customs and do everything else, so it's all good. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a super wonderful weekend, and I will see you next month for the next Scrapbook Live. And if you're curious about the ScrapHappy group that I've mentioned probably 20 million times, come and check us out at scraphappy.org. We're super fun. We do really fun things. The load challenges are included in ScrapHappy. So if you join our group, you get the load for free. So actually we do 3.5 of them every year. So, well, three and a bit. Okay, Ruth says, thanks. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.